In blood donations across the country. This month marks National Blood Donor Month, highlighting the lives saved by blood donations and also raising awareness about the winter shortage. Our Alex Weister shows us how donations are impacting and changing lives right here in East Texas.
One of those that they can wait, hours or days.
Blood donations can be a matter of life or death, a reality some have faced, such as Kim Frederick, whose daughter was diagnosed with cancer last year.
We had multiple ER visits, multiple ambulance rides. It's definitely rocked our world.
While going through treatment, her daughter Kendall was dealing with heart issues as a side effect of the disease, something that was helped with blood transfusions.
The heart having to work so hard to get what little blood she did have in her body moving. And then after those transfusions, we did another echo before we started chemo, and all of the heart issues had resolved themselves simply from the transfusion itself.
Frederick is thankful for those who donate, with her daughter now 1 year in remission from stage 3B Hodgkin's lymphoma. She has also seen her friends and their children need transfusions.
It saved my daughter's lives and saved multiples of our friends' kiddos' lives, and even some of our friends have received life-saving transfusions, whether that was from cancer or, tragic accidents.
Frederick has donated nearly 2 gallons of blood, along with hosting her own blood drive earlier this month, getting enough donations to help over 60 people. However, according to the New York Blood Center, donations during the winter still declined by over 30%.
We see a predictable but dangerous drop in East Texas blood supply. Donations slow down just as the need stays steady or even increases. Hospitals don't get a seasonal break, so when donations dip, patients feel it really fast.
Claster says that just by spending an hour to donate, 3 lives can be saved by the one donation.
Think of how many Texans will have a better year, living longer, staying with their families because of something you did that only took 1 hour.
Alex Weister, East Texas News Weekend.
Now, to see if you qualify to donate blood or to find a donation site near you, you can scan the QR code on your screen or go to our websites and click on the big red box.